consistently exceed expectations, showcase courage, brilliance, and an undying spirit that reshapes narratives and shatters stereotypes. Hello and welcome to Tecno Phantom V Flip 5G presents Women Pioneers of India in association with Republic TV. Today we have the privilege of hosting the mastermind behind MissMalini Agarwal, the woman who's truly revolutionized the blogging landscape and steered the course of digital media in India. We now get you the inspirational journey of MissMalini, who has blogged her way through Bollywood and beyond. Let's take a look.
From a corporate career to the dynamic world of entertainment, Malini's path is a testament to resilience and vision. As the founder of MissMalini Entertainment, she carved a niche in digital media, revolutionizing Bollywood coverage. Malini's story is a narrative of courage, breaking barriers and redefining success. A woman who dared to dream and in doing so, transformed an industry.
Thank you, Malini, for joining us on Tecno Phantom V Flip 5G presents Women Pioneers of India in association with Republic TV. Before we deep dive into this conversation, can we start with a quick rapid fire round?
Yes, we can. But first, I have to compliment you because it's not easy to do that opening line without reading it, and I know that. So well done.
I've been doing it all along now. I think I'm used to it.
Amazing.
But before we begin with the rapid fire round, how does it feel to be on the other side of the table today?
You know, I've gotten a little more used to it now, but it's always fun. And I know the job you have to do is not easy, and I hope I give you worthy answers.
Wonderful. Let's begin with the rapid fire round
All
then.
right.
Hope you're quick with your answers.
I've never started the rapid fire, but this is refreshing. Let's try it.
Dream celebrity collaboration.
Amir Khan. In fact, I just told somebody from his PR that the one person I've been dying to interview is Amir Khan.
One word to describe your content style.
I think the best word is enthu cutlet. I'm very enthusiastic and positive, and I think that word sort of encompasses all of it, and it has a little Bollywood flair to it.
Most used app on your phone.
I guess WhatsApp, to be honest. I do
WhatsApp,
all my work.
Instagram.
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that means I work more than I Instagram, so that's a good sign.
Favorite place you've traveled to for work?
So I've been really lucky. I've gone to some amazing places, but I think a couple of my favorites, Australia, New Zealand, Brazil. I mean, the list is endless. I'm very, very lucky to do what I do.
Coffee or chai?
Chai. Masala chai.
Current favorite song on your playlist?
So I have become the most ultimate King fan. So Tu Maan Meri Jaan, I went to his concert recently and I realized something. I was like, you know, we're all such big fans of international musicians and bands that come, and we're waiting for like a Coldplay concert or Sting to come here. But I'm a true fan of King.
Favorite quote or mantra?
So I actually have a tattoo of it on my ribs, which says, the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. And it's from the movie Moulin Rouge. And I love it.
Nice. First thing you do in the morning once you wake up?
Check my phone.
Favorite hashtag?
So I have, it's on my hand, To the Moon, hashtag To the Moon. That's also what my first book was called.
If you weren't in the digital media industry, what would you be doing other than that?
So I always thought, like, I've always been so fascinated with psychology. I think I would have been in that stream. As a kid, I wanted to be an archaeologist. So who knows? The alternate version of Malini, what she would be doing.
And then MissMalini happened.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk to you more about that, Malini.
Yeah.
How was it to transition from being an RJ to becoming one of the most prominent faces when it comes to giving out news on the entertainment industry in the digital space? How was it?
You know, it's been nothing short of amazing. And I can tell you, and you know, you'll understand this because you work in a similar field. The journey of an anchor or a host takes you on so many different paths, right? You can wear so many hats. And I still remember years ago, before I became a radio jockey in Bombay, I auditioned at All India Radio in Delhi. And I got rejected for rolling my R's because I have an American accent because I grew up in different schools. And I remember when I came to Bombay, my dream was, in that time when I was growing up, I'm going to show my age now, the cool career was to be a VJ, you know,
yes.
a video jockey.
Yes.
And that was my dream. I used to be a professional dancer. I was a backup dancer for Sukhbir for 6 years. And I thought, I'll go to Bombay and become a VJ. And it just didn't happen because at that point, they wanted the VJs to all look like supermodels and be, like now influencers come in all shapes and sizes and, you know. So at that point, I was really dejected about it. And I remember going to meet Prahlad Kakkar, who I actually just went to hear him talk. And I told him he changed my life because he said, he took one look at me and he said, no, what else do you like to do? And he sent me off to be a copywriter. So the journey has been crazy. And then I was actually working at MTV India. I used to write all the romance, again, love content, even the love line questions and the answers sometimes. Wow. And my business card said channel head romance and sexuality. And my mother was like, what are you doing? Bombay. And then, you know, private radio had just opened up then. And during one lunch break at MTV, I went to audition and I got a job on Win 94.6. Then I moved to Go 92.5, which became Radio 1. And I was a radio jockey for 9 years. And it was absolutely incredible. I always say radio was my first love and blogging my marriage. You know, that was the long-term commitment. But I think the journey was really interesting because even on the radio, I realized what I was doing was I was connecting with all these people, and I heard something, and I'm giving you a very long answer because this is something that I really love, is that, you know, people say you might be broadcasting to millions of people on the air, but when anybody's listening to the radio, right, you're having a very personal experience. So there might be 6 people in the car, but each person, it's called theater of the mind. Like when you read a book, you're imagining the person, how do they look, what they must be like, which is why everybody imagines their favorite RJ as very good looking, right? Right? You all do. Because you put a voice, you picture it.
Somehow happens.
And that's the theater of the mind. And I decided when I started the blog, even before I knew I was doing it, that I'm going to write my blog the way I used to do my radio show. So I would imagine in the empty seat across from me at the radio station that I'm talking to my best friend, Parul. I'm just as a little bit of an entu cutlet. So I would be telling her stuff because I would imagine that each person is having an individual thing. So I was not announcing to all of Mumbai. And that was kind of the vibe. And while I was at a radio, because it was owned by Midday, they gave me a column 17 years ago called Malini's Mumbai. Imagine. It was a print column, which is the first iteration of the blog. I have goosebumps when I think about it. If anybody had told me 17 years ago, Malini, you're going to run somebody's going to interview you about this one day, I would be like, there's no way, because this world didn't exist. And so I used to report, to cut a long story short, about nightlife and, you know, things that are happening and the who's who of Bombay in my column. But it was very limited space, so they would cut down, because there's limited, you know, pages, how much would be in the column. So it would just be who came with the bold names, who came in, and a few pictures. But all the nice writing I had done with my turn of phrase and all of that was gone. So I remember May 5th, 2008, we were on a trip to Dubai, and a friend of mine said, why don't you start a blog? And I said, what's a blog? And he said, it's like this online diary. And I said, but who reads it? And he said, don't worry about that. And he made me a login. I still remember writing my first post. And I remember the last day I put the faders up in the radio very dramatically. I thought, I'll never, like I've peaked. You know, like this is the happiest I'll be in my life is on radio. And I remember being so sad after that. Like I'm never going to find a job that I love this much. And I only felt that same rush again when I hit send on that first blog. And I still remember when I used to do a little bit of my radio show, I'd started the blog on the side, and I did something called Pirate Radio. And I remember the craziest thing happened. One day, this RJ Mihir tagged Imran Khan, the actor, saying, if you like English music, you love Malini's nighttime show. And he tagged me. And at that point, my name was Miss Malini because of the blog. This is before the empire, okay? And I said as a joke, haha, Imran Khan would love for you to come host the show with me. And look at the power of social media. Imran Khan replied to that tweet, which is like 140 characters, saying, I'll do it on one condition, if we call it Pirate Radio and I can play what I want. And I remember staring at my screen, thinking, did he just reply to me? And you know that rush of a celebrity replying then? And I was like, I'll do whatever. I didn't even ask the program director. I said, done. So we called it, and he told me why Pirate Radio, because Pirate Radio is a movie which is based on the fact that in the, ages ago when they weren't allowed to have commercial radio, they used to put the radio station on a boat because they were not allowed to play rock music from land. So they used to play it off a boat. What a great story. And he was my first guest. He was my first Bollywood interview. This is years ago. Like literally, I just celebrated 15 years of Miss Malini, and Imran Khan came there and he said, I don't go out anywhere else, but I came because I've known Malini for 15 years. And he came and he hosted the show with me. And imagine, I'm sitting here, normally with the celebrity, you talk to them for like 5 minutes. He sat with me for 3 hours, talked on the radio about his favorite songs, talked to me in between, and I'm just sitting there going, I can't believe this is happening. And it was all because of social media. Yeah. So that was I'm not even sure I answered your question, but it was just so fascinating that it happened that way. And so, how did I know what to use? I really just felt my way through it. Then I used to love little gadgets, right? So like every birthday, like some girls buy jewelry, I would buy weird gadgets, like the new phone. My camera was the one with the click and periscope. And again, I had this timeline at the 15-year anniversary, which had my camera of 15 years ago, because I also don't throw anything away. And I used to, when then Imran Khan was there, and I was like, do you mind, Imran, if I film a little bit? Because I have a YouTube. I just opened my YouTube account casually. So you'll still see, if you go to MissMalini videos on YouTube, there's videos, shaky videos of me talking and the back of my head, or Imran Khan waving and stuff. Really grainy footage on YouTube. But there was no strategy, there was no plan. It was just like, kuch bhi man kiya. And I'll tell you, I don't know if I've told anyone, this is so funny. So I used to say, okay, I love Bollywood, so what else should I put on YouTube? I said, I'll do the latest breaking Bollywood news. Now, I didn't have any breaking news. So I was like, here's my plan. In my room, I used to have this one PG in like Reva Bungalow. My room was really messy, but I had a curtain that separated my closet and mirror. So I'd draw the curtain from behind me, so it looked like I have a pink background, like a shower curtain. I would put my little camera here. I would put to film me, but I could see the reflection in the mirror, so I could see what's filming, because this is all a one-man show. And then I would put the midday behind it. And I would read the latest gossip. I would record it, and I would upload it to my YouTube channel. Those videos are still on YouTube. That's how I started. So how did I know? I didn't know anything. It is not easy. My challenges then were different, because it wasn't an industry that existed. People thought, ki kya phone pe hamesha game khelte rehti ho? It's like hard to understand what I did. My mom, for the longest time, thought I was an internet blocker. You love this story. She's 85. At that point, she was like 75. She used to tell everyone, when they said, Malini kya karti? She's like, she's an internet blocker. See, hum sabke paas itna internet spam aata hai. So just imagine celebrities ke paas aur bhi aata hoga. So she blocks the spam. This is what she's understood as my career. That Malini sits and blocks. First of all, I'm thinking, like, do you think I have all their logins? Like, this is so fun. But this was her logic, because it didn't exist. So I had different issues then. But now it's really hard to make a mark. But I think that's what I always tell everyone, whether it's a brand or an influencer. Don't leave your personality at the door. And so my answer to anyone who wants to get into this now is, if there's something quirky about yourself that you're secretly really proud of, but you're a little bit worried that people will make fun of, you have gold mine, my friend. Dial into that and you will be a super successful influencer, I can tell you, right? I don't claim to be a journalist. I'm not a journalist. I have not studied journalism. I am someone who loves Bollywood. I now can call myself a content creator, and I love to write about the things I love. So every opinion that I have on my blog is my opinion. That doesn't make it the rule. If I say I love something so much, doesn't mean everyone has to love it. If I say I didn't understand this fashion choice, doesn't mean it's a wrong fashion choice. So I've been very clear about that. 2, I used to write gossip, maybe 12, 13 years ago. But now if you read the blog, we don't do any gossip at all. You know what my rule is? It's very unconventional for what you would call a Bollywood blog. Nobody who writes for me, and myself included, the rule is you can't write anything you can't say to somebody's face. So this then resolves the issue of fine balance. Because if I can say, tell me now, you're dating him, right? But will I say, are you having an affair with this person? No. So I will behave, because I realize I think of myself as a good person. But when I started being, there was no idea of identity with content creators, right? All journalists or gossip bloggers are blind items. You don't know their name, maybe the name, face, you can run into the street, koi nahi pata. So you can say whatever. Same thing with the internet, you control anyone from behind a screen. But I started meeting people, and then I would be like, oh man, we just wrote this gossip, I hope they don't feel bad. But then I'm like, if I'm afraid to make eye contact with someone or run into them, then what gives me the right to say it at all? Just because if they're all going to run into me, then I don't have to feel bad. There's something wrong with that logic, right? So I always say this, not just for writers, but even if you're writing a comment, would you say it to their face? Otherwise, then you can't say it at all. So that was my rule. And I learned this the hard way, because I remember I'd put up pictures of Rajnikant. I've told this story so many times, but I'll tell it again. Internationally, people love pictures of celebrities without makeup. They like to see, right? Everywhere. So somebody had emailed me pictures, and I was like, chal, I put them up. And I went to sleep, and the next day, this is when I had the blog, there was no Instagram, nothing like. And I got so many comments, and they weren't trolling me, they were upset. They were so upset with me that how could you do this? He's like our hero. And you know how in today's day and age, we talk about fat shaming, complexion shaming. What had I done? I had shamed him for how he looks, without his hair and makeup. Unknowingly I say. But I chose to put the pictures up. I knew that people will voyeuristically see them somewhere inside, right? And I was like, does this allow me to still say I'm a good person? And then I was like, no. So I took it down, I wrote an apology. And I said, I'm sorry, you're right. Just as much as someone would say, oh, look at this person who's put on so much weight and put up pictures. I would never do that, right? I'm like, no, wow. I would not be the kind of person who puts up pictures of a celebrity who's put on weight. But what's different about this? I'm not saying I knew everything from day one, but I learned it the hard way. So I had a tweak to it. I was like, okay, let me think about this. Let me go back to the drawing board. What do I love about Bollywood? I'm not necessarily the kind of person who only reads gossip. Yes, we all like gossip, but what else do I like? I said, I love to see baby photos. I love to see happy occasions. I love to see celebrities acting human. Before that was a thing.
Right.
So I was like, okay, how do I make that my content? So, for example, my first interview with Shah Rukh Khan, I still remember, I waited 9 hours to do this interview. It was Independence Day at the Red Chillies office, and they were going off on a dance tour the next day, all of them. So everyone was there, but we had to wait. And I remember I had taken my husband with me because I had an idea for a content piece. I had a TV show then called MissMalini's World. And after hour 1, 2, 3, 4, slot to 7:30 p.m., it wasn't coming. Everyone was ready to leave. I said, I'm not leaving. It's my first interview with Shah Rukh Khan. I will sit here with one camera. Leave me one camera. Then they all waited. Around 4 a.m., our turn came. And just before that, someone from another website went and said to Shah Rukh, आपके बारे में Twitter पे सलमान ने क्या बोला, आपको कैसा लगा? And Shah Rukh said, boss, जिस बारे में नहीं पता, उस बारे में बात मत करो. And interview over. I'm like, you waited 9 hours to piss off Shah Rukh Khan. Then it was my turn. And I had gone with cupcakes. So I was like, everybody, you must be so hungry. So my show, you'll see, MissMalini's World, there's an episode. Everyone's eating cupcakes. Then, you know who else is in there? Abhishek Bachchan's in that, all of them. So I was like, let's play charades because I want to see celebrities being human. Have you ever seen Abhishek Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan play charades? If you watch MissMalini's World, you will see Shah Rukh Khan acting out Bluff Master for Abhishek Bachchan. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So that's the balance. Find something new that people love and delight in.
Right.
Tuesday night in Bombay, China House was this club at the Hyatt that had just opened. Me, my friend Parul, best friend, and husband Irene were out on a Tuesday for no reason. We had gone to Air, then we've come to China House. It's now 2 a.m. We've gone in, lights have come on, like, chalo, bus ho gaya, everyone. We're walking out the door. Suddenly, lights go down, music comes back on. So we're like, chalo, let's go back in because we are those people. Who's walked in? Salman Khan. Salman Khan has walked in. No paps are there because how would they know? He has told everyone, please give everyone's credit cards back. Today, all drinks are on me. He has bought the entire club drinks. Then he started taking bottles of champagne. Aapke liye. He's handed one to Paru. And I had my little camera. And I have a series, it's on my blog, these pictures where Paru's like, Salman, we have a shot of us pointing at him turning around, looking a bit suspicious, then TK with the photos. So there's a series. And I blogged this. The next morning, all the papers picked it up. So it became that influencing or content creator. And then I realized my news cycle was immediate. Because whatever, if some story broke, kuch bhi ho jai, somebody got married or baby is born, the news will come out in the press the next day. This is before social media. But my cycle was the baby is born and it's on my blog right now. So it was speed.
You know, there's so much more I want to talk to you about, and this is so interesting. In fact, I have so many more questions on my mind, but we have to slip into a very short commercial break right now. And for all of you, do stay tuned to Tecno Phantom V Flip 5G presents Women Pioneers of India in association with Republic TV. We'll continue talking to Malini on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching Tecno Phantom V Flip 5G presents Women Pioneers of India in association with Republic TV. We are in conversation with Malini Agarwal. So Malini, when we started this conversation, you also spoke about the trolls and how people don't understand that, you know, one negative comment can really ruin someone's day. I'm sure you're subject to it too. I mean, you're in the space and people just write anything and everything. How do you respond to your trolls? What is your message to them?
So funny. Again, I would, shameless plug, I addressed it in my first book. I'm actually writing my second book. It's coming out in March. It's called Under the Influence. I'm very proud of the title. I address it in two ways. One, I feel deeply affected and hurt by it and cry a lot. Really? Two, of course, I still remember it's so funny. And the impact it has is so strong. Like, you know, I think you think of me as a very independent, powerful, confident woman that I don't get affected. Like, don't let, you know, they say, oh, you're educated, don't let this stuff affect you. I remember once somebody made a comment saying, Miss Malini, don't post selfies until you get a nose job. Random comment. Mean-spirited. But after that moment, I started comparing the size of my nose to everybody else's noses in every picture. I do it to this day, unconsciously. I'll never get a nose job, but it bothers me. Now, is it better if no one had pointed it out? Should I not care what they think? We all care, let's be honest. So I'm not going to sit here and say, don't let it affect you. I know it affects you. The other thing to do is kill it with kindness. I actually heard something, I think B.U. Nick said this. He said, there was a time where he would always give a hazar jawab to the mean comments. And he said, I'm doing a disservice. Because all the hundreds of nice comments, I don't say anything. But when someone says something mean, I respond. Shouldn't I just start responding to the nice people? Yeah. So I've started flooding the internet with that.
And also, Malini, how do you think technology empowers women to challenge and shatter traditional gender norms and empower women to take control of their lives?
I mean, just look at us sitting here today.
Yeah.
Right? We're sitting here thanks to technology. Otherwise,
yes.
See, you and I, this is the opposite of it, right? We can sit and have a conversation all day long about women empowerment. But look at us.
Yay.
Two empowered women sitting having a
Absolutely.
conversation on a show dedicated to empowered women, being shot by a lot of men.
Yes.
Who are also empowering us, right?
And a woman who's directing
it. And a woman,
it.
of course, a woman directing it, of course. I would say sometimes we have to give the boys props too. But that's what I love about it. And, so I run a community of 100,000 women on Facebook called Girl Tribe. And they empower each other every day, whether it's to say, acha ye lehenga kahan se lena hai, or I'm having trouble in my marriage. Yeah. Because sometimes it's easier to talk to strangers. Or someone saying, I'm not able to conceive, or like things that are very close to home. So technology is incredible because suddenly everything's accessible.
Through the course of this conversation, I was thinking that we all have a certain perception of Miss Malini, and for all our gossip consumption, we go to your platform. But having this ethic for the platform you run is so important, and it has been lovely talking to you. And we must take a selfie now.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I did something called Pirate Radio, and I remember the craziest thing happened. One day, this RJ Mihir tagged Imran Khan, the actor, saying, if you like English music, you love Malini's nighttime show, and he tagged me. And at that point, my name was Miss Malini because of the blog. This is before the empire, okay? And I said as a joke, haha, Imran Khan would love for you to come host the show with me. And look at the power of social media. Imran Khan replied to that tweet, which is like 140 characters, saying, I'll do it on one condition. If we call it Pirate Radio, and I can play what I want. And I remember staring at my screen, thinking, did he just reply to me? I knew that rush of a celebrity replying then, and I was like, I'll do whatever. I didn't even ask the program director. I said, done. I love Bollywood, so what else should I put on YouTube? I said, I'll do the latest breaking Bollywood news. Now, I didn't have any breaking news, so I was like, here's my plan. In my room, I used to have this one PG in Reva Bungalow. My room was really messy, but I had a curtain that separated my closet and mirror. So I'd draw the curtain from behind me, so it looked like I have a pink background, like a shower curtain. I would put my little camera here. I would put to film me, but I could see the reflection in the mirror, so I could see what's filming. This is all a one-man show. And then I would put the midday behind it. And I would read the latest gossip. I would record it, and I would upload it to my YouTube channel. Those videos are still on YouTube. That's how I started.
Let Malini's story be an example of how being a differentiator can fuel the pursuit of passion and carve a path for millions. On that note, we'll be back with another interesting season of Tecno Phantom V-Flip 5G presents Women Pioneers of India in association with Republic TV. Stay tuned.